What if the smartest car purchase you could make in 2026 doesn't involve a single new vehicle from any dealership? What if the secret to owning a reliable, fuel-sipping, long-lasting machine is hiding in the used market and most people are completely overlooking it? The hybrid car segment has quietly become one of the most misunderstood categories in the entire automotive world. People either think hybrids are boring econoboxes or fragile technology bombs waiting to explode with repair bills. But the truth? Some used hybrids are so well engineered, so obsessively tested, that they outlast the expectations of everyone who doubted them. We spent months analyzing real-world ownership data, mechanic reports, reliability studies, and owner testimonials to find the only 3 used hybrids that are genuinely worth your money in 2026. Not 4, not 5, 3. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which ones they are and why the others don't even come close. If this kind of honest, data-backed automotive content is what you've been searching for, hit that subscribe button right now, give this video a like, and drop a comment below telling us what you currently drive. We read every single one. Car number 1. Toyota Prius. Let's start with the car that essentially invented the modern hybrid conversation, the Toyota Prius. Now before you roll your eyes, hear this. A third-generation Prius from 2010 to 2015, or a fourth generation from 2016 to 2018, has been statistically documented as one of the most reliable used vehicles ever sold in the United States. That's not marketing language. That's from J.D. Power reliability studies and Consumer Reports data spanning over a decade. The Prius isn't just a car. It's the result of Toyota's obsessive engineering culture, the same culture that builds engines for the Lexus LFA and the Land Cruiser. What most people never realize is that the hybrid battery in a well-maintained third-gen Prius was designed with a thermal management system so precise that taxi fleets in cities like San Francisco and New York regularly pushed these cars past 300,000 miles on their original battery packs. 300,000 miles. That's like driving around the Earth more than 12 times. And here's the part that almost nobody talks about. Toyota over-engineered the Prius battery to only use about 20% of its total capacity at any given time, meaning the cells almost never fully charge or fully discharge, which is the exact reason they last so long. And this is where things get really interesting with the Prius. The drivetrain technology Toyota developed for it, called the Hybrid Synergy Drive, is so robust that the core architecture has remained fundamentally unchanged since the second generation, because they essentially got it right the first time. The system uses 2 electric motor generators that work in concert with the gasoline engine, and together they create a kind of mechanical symphony that conventional cars simply cannot replicate. But here's a hidden fact that shocks most owners. The Prius can actually travel short distances on electric power alone at low speeds, even though Toyota never officially marketed the third-gen model as a plug-in. Most drivers never realize they're doing this every single day in stop-and-go traffic. The regenerative braking system is so effective that in heavy city driving, the Prius can recover enough energy from deceleration to meaningfully reduce fuel consumption, with some real-world owners reporting over 55 miles per gallon in urban environments. There's also a fascinating little-known story about how Toyota engineers secretly tested Prius prototypes by hiring undercover drivers to operate them as regular taxis in Tokyo for months before the car ever reached the public, just to stress test the system under brutal daily conditions. The car passed, and it's still passing today, 2 decades later. Car number 2. Honda CR versus hybrid. Now we move to something that surprised everyone in the hybrid world. And I mean that literally. When Honda launched the CR-V hybrid in North America for the 2020 model year, the automotive press expected it to be a mild, forgettable update to an already popular SUV. What they got instead was a genuinely clever 2-motor hybrid system that Honda had quietly refined for years in the Japanese domestic market before ever bringing it to American shores. The CR-V hybrid uses a completely different technical approach than Toyota. Instead of a traditional transmission with gears, Honda's system uses the electric motors to drive the wheels almost all of the time, while the gasoline engine primarily acts as a generator, essentially turning the CR-V into something that functions more like an electric vehicle than most people understand. This means the driving experience is shockingly smooth. There's no traditional gear hunting, no hesitation at low speeds, and the power delivery is immediate and linear in a way that feels almost eerie the first time you experience it. What makes this even crazier is that the 2020 to 2022 CR-V hybrid has been flagged by multiple independent reliability trackers as having dramatically fewer powertrain issues than non-hybrid CR-V models from the same era, which struggled with oil dilution problems in certain driving conditions. But there's one detail about the CR-V hybrid that almost nobody talks about, and it could genuinely change how you evaluate this car. Honda engineered the battery pack and cooling system specifically for longevity in varied climates, something that matters enormously if you live somewhere with harsh winters or brutal summers. Unlike some competitors whose hybrid batteries struggle in temperature extremes, the CR-V hybrid's thermal management system was validated in environments ranging from the Nevada desert to the mountains of Canada. Real-world owners have reported battery packs remaining in excellent health well past 150,000 miles with zero intervention. The CR-V hybrid also quietly outperforms its EPA fuel economy estimates in real-world highway driving, which is the opposite of what most hybrids do. Most hybrids shine in the city and underperform on highways. The CR-V hybrid achieves close to its rated 38 miles per gallon on steady highway runs, making it genuinely versatile in a way that few hybrid SUVs can claim. And here's something that's buried in the ownership experience data. Drivers who switched from conventional SUVs to the CR-V hybrid report spending an average of 40% less on fuel annually, a number that sounds dramatic until you do the math at the gas pump. If you know someone shopping for a used SUV right now or trying to cut down on fuel costs, share this video with them. What they're about to learn in the next few minutes could save them thousands of dollars. Car number 3. Lexus S300h. The third car on this list is the one that will genuinely surprise you, because it represents a dimension of the used hybrid market that most buyers completely ignore. The luxury segment. The Lexus S300h, produced from 2013 through 2018, is built on the same platform as the Toyota Camry hybrid and shares the same fundamental hybrid system, but it's wrapped in a completely different world of refinement, material quality, and engineering obsession. Lexus, as a brand, was born from a secret Toyota project in the 1980s called F1, which had a single goal: build a car that was better than the Mercedes-Benz S-Class and the BMW 7 Series in every measurable way. That obsession with perfection trickled down into every vehicle Lexus ever made, including the S300h. The 2.5-liter Atkinson cycle engine paired with an electric motor produces a combined 200 horsepower, which sounds modest on paper until you realize this car was never built to be a performance machine. It was built to make 40 miles per gallon feel effortless, serene, and almost meditative. And it delivers. But what happened next in the reliability data shocked even the most seasoned automotive analysts. The S300h consistently ranked as one of the lowest cost-to-own luxury vehicles in its segment, beating European competitors on repair frequency and severity by margins that were almost embarrassing for those brands. Here's where the S300h story becomes genuinely fascinating from a value perspective. When you buy a used 2015 or 2016 Lexus S300h today, you're acquiring a vehicle that originally retailed for around $40,000, a car that was subjected to the same quality checks as vehicles costing twice as much. The depreciation curve on the S300h is steep in the early years, which is painful for original owners but extraordinary for used buyers. A well-maintained example with 70,000 to 90,000 miles can regularly be found for under $22,000 in 2026, representing one of the most dramatic value propositions in the entire used luxury market. Most drivers never realize that the S300h's interior was constructed with the same acoustic engineering principles used in recording studios. Lexus engineers measured sound intrusion with instruments calibrated to detect frequencies the human ear can barely perceive, then eliminated those intrusions one by one. The result is a cabin so quiet at highway speeds that conversations feel like they're happening in a living room. And there's a rare curiosity buried in the S300H's engineering that almost no one discusses. The car uses a special cooling system for its power electronics that's completely separate from the engine cooling circuit, meaning that even if your engine overheats for some reason, the hybrid electronics remain protected. That's a level of redundancy you simply don't find in this price bracket anywhere else. So here's where everything comes together, and the picture it paints is remarkably clear. The Toyota Prius gives you the most battle-tested hybrid technology on the planet, with a track record so long and so consistent that it borders on legendary. The Honda CR-V Hybrid gives you the versatility and space of a modern SUV combined with a unique electric dominant drivetrain that punches well above its weight in efficiency and driving refinement. And the Lexus S300H gives you a luxury experience wrapped around a bulletproof hybrid system, available at a used price that represents one of the most overlooked bargains in today's market. 3 completely different cars, 3 completely different buyer profiles, but all 3 sharing one critical trait. They were engineered to last, and the real-world data confirms it over and over again. The used hybrid market in 2026 is full of tempting options with low sticker prices and hidden complications, and the difference between a smart purchase and an expensive mistake often comes down to knowing which engineering decisions a manufacturer made 5 or 10 years ago. These 3 cars made the right ones. If you found this video genuinely useful, please subscribe to this channel and hit the like button. Share this video with a friend or family member who's shopping for a used car right now, because this information could save them real money. And leave a comment below telling us which of these 3 cars surprised you the most. The answer might be more interesting than you expect.